Hello guys, as usual stay home, stay safe, and don't forget to do Excel chemistry. So today we are going to talk about the magnesium and its compounds, further compounds. We spoke about magnesium oxide, that is magnesia, in the last video. Now furthermore some more compounds, that is magnesium hydroxide and magnesium carbonate. First let's do this one. So as usual the study remains the same: preparation, properties and uses. Magnesium hydroxide, it is very much easily prepared by, first method is by dissolving magnesium oxide in water. What happens? That means MgO plus H2O will form MgOH twice. Simple. Okay, one more method is by treating salt of magnesium, that is magnesium chloride, with alkali, any alkali. So MgCl2 plus, let's say, calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice, will form MgOH twice plus CaCl2. Or I can also use sodium, MgCl2 plus sodium hydroxide. This is also alkali. When treated will form MgOH twice plus NaCl. Very simple. So these are the two simple methods of preparations of MgOH twice, magnesium hydroxide. Now when you talk about its properties, the properties are very familiar ones. That is, number one, it is white powdered form, and then it is sparingly soluble in water, sparingly soluble in water, and it is in terms of solubility we can also say one more point, that is it readily dissolve in ammonium, readily dissolve in ammonium chloride solution. Okay, I mean that MgOH twice on treating with ammonium chloride will form the salt magnesium chloride plus ammonium hydroxide. Okay, so this says like it is readily dissolving in ammonium chloride solution. Then it is basic in nature, yes, undoubtedly we know that, and decomposes on heating. It decomposes on heating. Fine. So these are the properties and uses. Very simple use. One use, or you can say like it is used in preparing antacid. Okay, and in the form of milk of magnesia. And I hope you know what is the use of this antacid. It acts as a base, and for it is used like the ENO and whatever the gelacil that we take normally is comprising this only. So this is what about magnesium hydroxide, nothing much. And then we have magnesium carbonate. Magnesium carbonate. So preparation as usual. Magnesium carbonate can be prepared by treating sodium bicarbonate with magnesium sulfate, and this magnesium sulfate is hot and hot salt, you can call. The hot magnesium sulfate, when treated with sodium bicarbonate, will form our magnesium carbonate plus sodium sulfate plus carbon dioxide plus water. Okay, so this is what the methods of preparation, that is magnesium carbonate, is prepared from. Now here important point and interesting point is this: for the preparation of magnesium carbonate I should use only sodium bicarbonate. Sodium carbonate I cannot use. Sodium carbonate will not serve the purpose, because sodium carbonate like it will form a white precipitate. Okay, sodium carbonate can't be used for the preparation. as it forms white basic precipitate, which is generally basic in nature. Okay, so if I use sodium carbonate, what exactly happens is, in the presence of sodium carbonate, normally sodium carbonate has the tendency towards water molecules, right? Affinity towards water molecules, and this exists with water, and that water is the disturbance that creates the disturbance. What happens is, this water molecules will further treat with the magnesium or react with the magnesium and forms magnesium hydroxide, which is coexisting with this carbonate. Okay, and that is really creating the problem. I mean, let me write it in equation so that you'll understand. Suppose if I have sodium carbonate Na2CO3 plus MgSO4, no doubt I get the same products, that is MgCO3 plus Na2SO4 plus carbon dioxide plus water. This water that is released, now it will further react with magnesium in the presence of sodium carbonate, because it has huge amounts of water, and it is present in the form of magnesium hydroxide, and this is called, or this is the white precipitate, which is basic in nature, and it is called as magnesium alpha, basic magnesium alpha, not halwa, alpha. Alright, so because of this basic magnesium alpha, our desired product is only this one, but this is coexisting with the magnesium hydroxide. I don't want this to be existing with this one. So what I do is, if I surely want from sodium carbonate only I have to use, and I need to get magnesium carbonate, then I will further react this, that is MgCO3 dot MgOH twice, which is, what is this, magnesium alpha, when treated in the presence of carbon dioxide and water. Okay, in the presence of carbon dioxide and water, when we heat it, it will further forms magnesium bicarbonate, which on boiling will form magnesium carbonate, plus I also get carbon dioxide and water as usual. Now on a whole, if I wanted to use sodium carbonate, these are the steps that has to undergo, and finally I get magnesium carbonate. Rather than this, the simple way is sodium bicarbonate, use it and treat with this magnesium sulfate, you will get the magnesium carbonate and sodium sulfate and all. On a whole, if you wanted to know, you can remember both the reactions now, but majorly we use only the first one. Now in terms of the properties, very simple properties, as in the case of previous one, it is also white powder form, it exists, it is insoluble in water, and but it dissolves in presence of carbon dioxide. We have seen this reaction. In fact, what happens, carbon dioxide in the presence of water, like MgCO3 plus H2O, normally it does not dissolve, but in the presence of carbon dioxide, that is, it forms carbon dioxide, acidic acid is formed, like weak acid in fact. So that weak acid, when reacts with this weak acid, when reacts with this, it forms bicarbonate or carbonate. Weak acid I am saying, so it should form bicarbonate. Okay, so in the presence of carbon dioxide, it dissolves and forms bicarbonates. Fine. And it also dissolves in mineral acids, like HCl, H2SO4, nitric acid and all. And I hope you must know what could be the product if I react with this with HCl, MgCO3 plus HCl, what it should form. I think you can answer that. Then the last one, that is, it decomposes to give, on heating, it decomposes to give magnesium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So that's all about the properties. When you talk about uses, these elements, they have they are used in paper industry, in paper making. They are used as fillers, and they also uh, used in making toothpastes or tooth powder, not paste, and cosmetics also. Then they are also used for refracting material. In furnaces we use the refracting material. Why? Because it is having a very high melting point, just like magnesium oxide, and it can hold the great heats also. Okay. Then for refracting materials it is used, and it is also used for making glass, ceramics, etc. Fine. So this is what about magnesium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. Nothing much. The next two, last two in fact, that is, we can prepare the two other compounds, that is magnesium chloride and 6H2O. Other one is magnesium sulfate with 7H2O. We will study it simultaneously so that things are clear. Okay. So as usual, preparation. So MgCl2.6H2O, it is prepared from the mineral source. In fact, MgCl2.6H2O, what mineral is having this already? If you have remembered the formulas of various minerals, okay, there is something called as carnallite. Remember carnallite? What is the formula? KCl MgCl2.6H2O. So from that, straight away, if I remove KCl, the desired product is achieved, right? So preparation. So first one is from carnallite. What do? The following steps are there. Number one, first the mineral is fused and cooled to 176 degrees Celsius. Remember this temperature. It is fused and then cooled with what? 170, cooled to 176 degrees Celsius. And at these temperatures, what happens is KCl will automatically get deposited. All the amount, whatever the amount of KCl is there, KCl is completely deposited. But the MgCl2, that is magnesium chloride dot 6H2O along with the water molecules, is in the fused state only. So what happens is, at the deposit, at the container bottom, you can find the KCl and easily you can remove that KCl. Okay. Then this is one method. There is also another method. By dissolving the magnesium oxide, magnesium hydroxide, and magnesium carbonates, the salts of the magnesium, when it is dissolved in dilute HCl, that also will give us the MgCl2.6H2O. Okay, so two simple methods of preparations. This also, with respect to here itself, we'll see MgSO4 preparations. It is also having two simple methods of preparations, that is, from, this was carnallite, what could be this one? From dolomite. Yes or no? So from dolomite we have like MgCO3 plus dolomite MgCO3 dot CaCO3 on treating with sulfuric acid will form magnesium sulfate plus calcium sulfate. This calcium sulfate, when compared to this one, is it soluble or insoluble? We have spoken about this already. It is what generally insoluble. Sulfates, the solubility will the calcium sulfate as compared to magnesium sulfate is insoluble. Yes or no? We have studied it already that sulfates and chlorates, and we also studied about the sorry, not chlorates, chromates. Then what is that? Uh, I said I told you to remember a mnemonic, right? Home surf carbonates. Okay, the solubility of these with respect to calcium, strontium, and barium will decrease. Yes or no? So with respect to calcium, strontium, and barium will decreases. But if I compare calcium sulfate with magnesium sulfate, this is insoluble and this is more soluble. Okay, so in fact sulfate's solubility order I have given you already, so just look to that, you will understand it already. We have spoken it already. Bottom line, from dolomite treating with sulfuric acid will form magnesium sulfate plus calcium sulfate. Along with this we also get carbon dioxide plus water. So this is what my desired product is. And this will automatically takes the water molecules, 7 water molecules, and form magnesium sulfate dot 7H2O. This is one method, and there is also another method. From instead of dolomite I can also use cassiterite. Okay, what you do is you just dissolve the cassiterite in water. You remember the formula of cassiterite? What is that? It is monohydrated magnesium sulfate, MgSO4 dot 1H2O. Just dissolve, treat it with water. Okay, in fact 6 moles of water will automatically take this and form MgSO4 dot 7H2O. Okay, now this is generally in solute form, or sorry, solution. On cooling this we will get the crystals. On cooling we get crystals of MgSO4. So these are the two methods of preparations for both. Then talking about the properties, it is, this one is colorless solid. This is colorless solid. Even this is also colorless solid. Both are colorless solid. And this is diliquescent. What do you mean by diliquescent? Which absorbs the moisture and dissolves in it, correct? Then this one, soluble in water. It is soluble in water. And in fact diliquescent itself is saying that it is also soluble in water. In terms of solubility both will dissolve in water. Only thing is this is more diliquescent. And it is the starting material for various compounds. It is the starting material to prepare various compounds. To prepare various compounds of magnesium. Okay, and the other side, if you talk about this fellows, this has some more properties, that is it is bitter in taste. Then it is isomorphous with zinc sulfate. Isomorphous with zinc sulfate, that is ZnSO4 dot 7H2O. So MgSO4 dot 7H2O, ZnSO4 dot 7H2O. So isomorphous with each other. And then it also exists as, or it forms double sulfates with alkali metal sulfates. With alkali sulfates. In fact I forgot to tell here also that these fellows, that is magnesium carbonate, this also, right where, here itself, it also forms double carbonates with alkali carbonates. Double carbonates with alkali carbonates. Okay, like Na2CO3 and MgCO3 together exists. Same way this also double sulfates with alkali, it forms double sulfates with alkali sulfates. Like for example K2SO4 dot MgSO4 dot 6H2O. So this put together is one compound which is existing together. Okay, and in fact the name of this one is Shomite. Okay, and it has one more heating effect of magnesium sulfate, that is when you heat Mgso4.7H2O, remember the temperatures at 150 degrees Celsius. On heating, it loses the water molecules. In fact, it forms the cassiterite, that is Mgso4.H2O, which on further heating at a temperature of 200 degrees Celsius, it becomes completely dehydrated, that is MgSO4 is left over. And on further heating this you can answer what would be the compounds that I'll be getting. MgSO4 on heating gives magnesium oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus oxygen gas. Okay, so on a whole, this what happens on heating from MgSO4 all the way, it forms to magnesium oxide. Fine. And one more in terms of heating is magnesium sulfate on treating with lamp black. Lamp black is again one of the purest form of carbon. So when I heat in the presence of lamp black around 800 degrees Celsius, then also it will form magnesium oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus oxygen. Okay, so this is what about the properties of MgSO4, properties of this one. Uses its, let me write the uses for this one here and for this one. They are used in making, as I said already, it is a starting material for various compounds, no? So making magnesium oxide, magnesium hydroxide, magnesium carbonate, etc. Okay, and it is also used in making, if you remember in the last class we said about sorrel cement, we use MgCl, right? So it is used in making sorrel cement, and it is also used in spinning cotton mills. Okay, spinning cotton threads. So three simple uses. With respect to uses of this one, that is MgSO4, it is used in medicines, it is used in paper making as fillers, just like the previous one, and it is also used in tanning industry, and lastly in paints making and soaps forming also, like paints, soaps industry. So these are the uses of the magnesium sulfate. So on a whole, bottom line is the various compounds and that is of magnesium is done. So with this our chapter is also done. In the next class we will be talking about the next group, but before I do that, I wanted you to be very much clear, okay, with the topics, with the equations, with the reactions, properties, and you can be only clear when you keep on practicing rewriting the equations again and again. Okay, so before we go to that, I wish you will be confident in these areas. Okay, again I am saying I am very much flexible. Just in one day of a sudden you will not get the confidence. You get the confidence in the inorganic chemistry only when you keep writing again and again, or keep remembering the things at regular intervals. Okay, anyways, so for today we stop. Stay home, stay safe.